Webb?
Yes. Straight over there. About 100 yards.
You okay, love?
I think so. Straight down over there.
Just wait here, yeah?
Sierra Oscar 595 receiving.
Go ahead, Tony.
We found him. Male IC1.
Dead?
Well, if he's not, he won't be too pleased when he looks in the mirror.
Morning, Andrew. Taking the air. Canley Fields, a body's been found.
It's very violent.
What's the situation, Tony?
Well, we've established a sterile area, sir. The FME's here already. He's pronounced life extinct.
How long dead?
2-3 weeks, he reckons.
Any identification?
Not found any yet, sir, no.
About time they close this place down, innit? Save us all a lot of hassle.
You're up early, sir?
Yeah, well, I was going to catch up on some paperwork, but even a dead body's better than sheets of A4. Where is it?
It's the other side of the bushes, sir, in the gully.
All right.
Yeah, terrific, sir.
What have we got? Whew. A dosser? One side of cocktail too many.
Yeah, looks like a dosser to me, sir.
Yeah, well, you probably look like that if you've been lying here for 3 weeks.
There are injuries to the back of the head.
Hasn't really been buried, has he?
No, not really, sir.
An organic duvet.
Yeah, well, they'll use anything round here, sir.
Quinnan's theory is that either our man hit his head on a mushroom as he lay down, or some other wino got stroppy and hit him over the head with a cider bottle.
Sounds reasonable, given the location.
Yeah, well, either way, I can't see Amit being particularly exercised at this stage. So, we'll expedite his fingerprints to CRO and the unident to SO5 and take it from there, all right?
Right.
The body on Canley Fields. Might not have been a dosser after all. SO5 will come up with a physical match with the description.
What, already?
Gordon Frederick Barber, age 68, address 26 Liscombe Road, Sun Hill. Reported missing by his family 2.5 weeks ago. Obviously, it might not be him, but the timing fits and the description's very close, including the clothes.
Is it all right if I give the short straw to Ackland?
Mr. Malcolm Barber?
Yes?
It's WPC Ackland, Sun Hill Police. I telephoned.
Yes, come in.
Thank you. Ah, Mrs. Barber, it's June Ackland, Sun Hill Police.
Oh, yes, hello. Won't you sit down?
Thank you. I'm sorry to intrude like this.
It's about Gordon, isn't it? My husband.
Yes, it is.
Have you found him?
Well, we're not quite sure.
Not sure?
Look, I'm sorry, this is very unpleasant for you both. We've found someone we think may be Mr. Barber.
I don't understand.
Well, I'm afraid the person we found is dead. Look, I'm really sorry, Mrs. Barber, and I must emphasise it may not be your husband. Our missing persons department has just matched the details of the description that you gave us. So, I'm basically here to ask whether one of you would be kind enough to come and assist in the identification.
But can't you do it from fingerprints?
Well, only if the deceased has a criminal record, I'm afraid, and I understand that in the case of your father...
No, certainly not.
It's all right, Malcolm. Where is he?
He's at the mortuary at St Hugh's Hospital.
Can you take me there?
No, Mum, no, I'll go.
We'll both go. No.
It's him. It is Dad, Mum.
He doesn't look like that. He never looked like that.
It's him. I shouldn't have let her come.
This is a very difficult situation, sir, and we regret any distress that's been caused. But are you certain that this is your father?
I've lived with him for 47 years. You don't forget in 2.5 weeks.
Mr. Barber, I appreciate how you and your mother must be feeling right now. But I am going to have to talk to you both at some time. So perhaps I could give you a call tomorrow?
What for? What else is there to say?
Well, it's merely routine, sir. As next of kin, we have to take a formal statement, that's all.
Right, of course. I'm sorry. I'll do my today if you like. Get it over with.
Fine. You first reported him missing on the 3rd of the month, is that right?
Monday morning, yes. I came here to the station. He'd gone out on the Saturday night about 9 o'clock. We hadn't seen him since.
Where was that, to the pub or somewhere?
No, just for a walk. He often went for long walks.
Did he have any money on him? I only asked because we didn't find any.
I'm sorry, I've no idea.
That's all right. When he went on these walks, did he go anywhere in particular?
I don't think so.
No set route?
Not that I know of.
How about Canley Fields? Did he ever go there?
Possibly. I don't know. It's not something we ever discussed. He's always gone for walks, that's all I can tell you.
On his own?
He used to take me with him when I was a kid. And Mum. We've been route marched all over Britain. But in later years, on his own, yes.
He didn't take a friend with him or anything?
He didn't have any friends. The family was all the company he seemed to need.
What, you and your mum?
Yes.
So he definitely didn't have anyone with him on Saturday night?
I honestly can't think of anyone, no.
Mr. Barber, you must forgive me if this sounds offensive, but that particular section of Canley Fields where your father's body was found has a rather unsavoury reputation.
I'm sorry?
To be honest, it's the known haunt of winos, homosexuals, perverts.
I'm not sure what you're suggesting, but my father wasn't any of those.
It's not a suggestion, Mr. Barber. But obviously, we have to establish how your father's body came to be on Canley Fields. Now, either he was there by coincidence and maybe he got mugged, or someone took him there against his will, or even after he was dead.
What, dumped his body?
You say you had no friends. How about enemies?
He was a 68-year-old retired draftsman.
So, no friends, no enemies. You didn't report him missing for 2 days. Why was that?
He has a sister in Nottingham. He took himself off to visit her occasionally. We thought maybe...
What, without telling you or your mother?
Yes. Well, he only tells us what he thinks we need to know. We thought it best to check with her before troubling the police, but it took us a while to make contact.
And had she seen it?
No.
Forgive me again for asking, Mr. Barber. But a man who goes off on long walks without telling anyone, who goes to visit relatives without a word...
Oh, he still had all his marbles, if that's what you mean. He was very proud of his mental agility.
Oh, good boy, Jim.
Barry Stringer's looking for you, Gov. If I get a chance.
Yeah, if you would, please.
Barry, what's up?
Nothing, I don't think, sir. It's about this mistress that was found dead. I dealt with the son when he first reported the father missing. Cheers, Liz.
Yeah, I saw your name in the book. So what have we got? Some sightings that weren't recorded?
No, I think it was dealt with properly. Local inquiries, descriptions circulated, local press did their bit. Only there weren't any photographs.
How do you mean?
Of the father. Not a single one.
Well, perhaps they didn't feel like handing any over. I mean, people get very sensitive.
No, I think the son was very definite. There weren't any. I just thought it was a bit odd, that's all.
Why?
Because he didn't elaborate. There weren't any. Bang, that's it.
I see. Well, thank you, Barry, for sharing that with me.
He was a perfectionist, you see. If you want something done properly, do it yourself. That was his motto in everything. Everything had to be just so. Otherwise, it drove him mad. Even to opening a tin of corned beef. I could never get it out in one piece. It's going to seem very strange without him being here, doing everything perfectly.
Still, at least you've got Malcolm. He's obviously very fond of you.
Yes. Why is he being so long?
Oh, it'll be all the form filling. Don't worry. He'll be home soon. Look, I really must be making a move now, Mrs. Barber. Is there a neighbour who could come in and sit with you?
Oh, no. I don't want anyone else. Thank you. Only Malcolm.
Right, well, I'll get the Home Beat officer to call in on you later on, and maybe tomorrow or the next day Malcolm could drive you down to the station.
No. Malcolm can't drive. Whatever made you think that?
Bye for now. It was the carpet.
The carpet?
Yeah, in the living room. It's brand new. I mean, the rest of the place is absolutely immaculate. The decorating and fittings, not new, but dead straight down to 1/10 of a millimetre. But this carpet, it's really bodgy around the edges, like it's been laid by somebody who hasn't had a lot of practice.
You're getting like Barry Stringer, do you know that? He's worried and all that the son's involved. Anything else?
I don't know, the car. Now, Mrs. Barber says that her husband is the only driver, but the car's got a damaged rear wing and it's parked all over the shop outside their house. Now, the impression I get from her is that he was the sort of man who'd take half an hour to park up.
So what are you saying? That the car could have gone to Canley Fields with Mr. Barber on board, but not necessarily behind the wheel?
Yes, I am.
DS Roach from 340 receiving.
Come in, Dave.
Yeah, we're further back down the lane. We're behind you. Someone here's giving this post a bit of a knock. Might be worth a closer look.
How's it look?
Like Tony Stamp's been driving it sometime or other.
Mr. Barber, I'm sorry about this, sir. But do you think you could spare us a little more of your time?
I wouldn't have thought he had it in him.
Yeah, those are the ones you got to watch.
June, front office.
Oh, right. Mrs. Barber.
I've got a taxi. I want to be with Malcolm.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Barber. That's just not possible at this very moment.
Why?
Right. Well, there are one or two things we think you can help us to clarify. The first one is concerning your father's car. Have you driven it since he went missing?
I can't drive.
Is that can't, as in physically unable to?
No, can't as in I've never passed a test and I haven't got a licence.
How about your mother?
Mum, no, she never learned.
But you have learnt.
I tried and failed, that's all.
So you haven't driven your father's car in the last 2 or 3 weeks?
No.
You're quite sure about that?
Yes, I'm quite sure.
Is there anyone else who might have driven it?
No. Nobody was allowed behind the wheel of that car except my father.
So you wouldn't mind if we examined it?
What for?
Well, it's the usual routine, Malcolm. Point being, if your father was taken to Canley Fields after he died, the vehicle he was taken in still might have traces of his presence.
We just want to eliminate the family car from our inquiries.
Yes, whatever you have to do. Just don't get it dirty. I expect he's watching over it even now.
Took a pride in it, did he?
Very much so.
And the house too? I hear it's in very good nick, inside and out.
Yes, he set very high standards.
A DIY man, eh?
Definitely. He wouldn't trust anyone else to do it.
From a security point of view, you mean he didn't like workmen in the house?
No, because even master craftsmen wouldn't have done a good enough job. Nobody in Britain could put up a piece of wallpaper straighter than my father. Nobody could paint a ceiling with fewer drips.
How about carpet laying? Is he any good at that?
Naturally.
Did he lay the new carpet in your living room?
No, he didn't. I did. First job in the house I've ever done. Ever been allowed to do.
So why do you think he let you do that?
He wasn't there, was he? It was after he went missing. It needed changing.
Why did it need changing, Malcolm?
We had a spillage. Milk.
Milk?
A whole bottle. It's impossible to get the smell out.
I shouldn't think they'll be much longer. Would you like another cup of tea?
I just want to be with Malcolm. What are they doing to him?
Have you always lived at home, Malcolm?
Yes.
Never been tempted to fly the nest?
And leave Mum on her own?
You're very close to your mum, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
How about your dad? Not so close, maybe. Do you want to talk about him?
What for?
Well, you have been talking about him quite a lot in a roundabout sort of way. I thought maybe you'd like to get it out in the open. Save bottling it up. We're not totally insensitive, you know, Malcolm. We are aware of the tensions that can build up within a domestic situation.
That's very reassuring.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a clerical officer in the civil service.
Really?
I was supposed to be an architect, but I didn't quite make it.
Your dad wanted you to be an architect, right?
My dad wanted me to be all sorts of things, especially a man.
Bit of a bully, was he, your dad?
Bully? No, not in a physical sense. Being told you're a useless Burke twice a day does rather take the edge off your self-confidence, doesn't it?
Like putting you down, did he?
I know my limitations. But he knew them as well, and he didn't like them. So it was, give me that, I'll do it. What do you want to do that for? Look what you've done now, Burke. Burke. She used to get it as well, Mum, all the time. We were both Burkes for nearly 50 years. He could spit that little word out with such contempt. Made my eyes smart right to the end.
The end of what, Malcolm?
He's being with us.
You mean up until he went missing?
Yes.
When you first reported him missing, you were unable to provide us with a photograph. Can you tell me why that was?
We don't have any.
Why don't you have any?
Because he never trusted us with a camera, did he? We might have dropped it or misread the light meter.
Is that the only reason? Not one photograph? Not one family snapshot in over 40 years?
Not anymore, no.
Not anymore. So there were some, but they disappeared.
There were two. One on the sideboard and one on the bookcase. His bookcase.
So what happened to him?
It's like any dictatorship, isn't it? When there are pictures of the great man plastered everywhere. And then there's a coup. All the pictures of the tyrant get ripped down, don't they? It's the same thing. I tore them up.
When you say a coup, Malcolm, What exactly do you mean? Malcolm?
I mean, I killed him. I did. Firstly! You're not to upset her in any way.
I'll go and see how they're getting on, yeah?
Weekends are the worst. When we're all at home indoors together. Sometimes he goes out. And then it's all right when it's just me and Malcolm. But he didn't go out that Saturday. And he'd been sniping all day long, treating us both like imbeciles and making Malcolm more and more uptight.
Look, Mrs. Barber, if you're going to tell me about Malcolm and his dad, I'd really rather you didn't. Not here.
He'd bought some holiday brochures Malcolm had from a travel agent. He wanted to take me on a week's holiday. Just plan it and go. And not tell his father. But he found the brochures. His father did. And then we had the Spanish Inquisition. And then he was laughing at Malcolm about going abroad, telling Malcolm he wouldn't have the guts to go up in an aeroplane, things like that, the usual. And he took the brochures and he went over to the bin by the fireplace. And when he started tearing them up, I went up behind him. I picked up the cloth.
Mrs. Barber, please.
And I smashed it down on his head. And when he fell on the floor, I did it again. And all the time I was thinking, why didn't you do this 40 years ago, you stupid fool? Why did you have to let Malcolm suffer like this? It was a carriage clock, his retirement present. I threw it in a dustbin afterwards. And Malcolm drove his father to the common. Then we thought we ought to report him missing, for the sake of appearances.
I suppose she wants to talk to Malcolm.
She wants to see you or the custody officer first.
What for? Malcolm's coughed.
Yeah, well, he'd do anything for his mum, almost.
Well, I suppose that's the end of one prison sentence and the start of another.